My father's hand was around my throat before I could finish the sentence. 2 words, that's all it took. It's mine. And then my head cracked against the marble wall so hard, the chandelier above us seemed to shatter into 1,000 stars. 280 wedding guests gasped in unison. Someone screamed. I heard my sister's veil rustle as she spun around. But all I could focus on was the sound, that sickening crack echoing through the grand ballroom like a judge's gavel sealing my fate. Except this time, someone was filming. I didn't know it yet, but that single red recording light on a stranger's phone was about to rewrite everything, my entire life, my family's carefully constructed lie, the empire they built on my silence. My name is Quinn Reyes, and for 28 years, I stood in the shadows of my own story, while everyone else held the pen. But that night at the Summit Crown Hotel in Arbortown, Colorado, surrounded by imported flowers that cost more than most people's cars, drowning in champagne that tasted like promises no one intended to keep, I stopped being silent, and the world watched. By the time I woke up the next morning with bandages wrapped around my skull and my phone exploded with notifications, the clip had 5 million views, my father's face twisted with rage, my body hitting the wall, my sister's wedding ruined. But here's what nobody knew yet. That wasn't the shocking part. What happened next, what I discovered about my family, about the will, about the daughter they tried to erase, that's the part that broke the internet. And it started 3 days before the wedding, when I found a locked drawer in my dead mother's office. Stick around, because what was in that drawer changed everything. And I mean everything. 3 days before my sister Brooklyn's wedding, I was doing something I'd done 100 times before, cleaning up her mess. Literally. Brooklyn had asked me to grab her emergency earrings from Mom's old office in the Reyes estate, the sprawling Colorado mansion where I'd grown up feeling like a permanent houseguest. Mom had been gone for 8 months, cancer, fast and cruel, and Dad had locked her office the day after the funeral, like sealing a tomb. But Brooklyn had the key. Of course she did. "Just grab the pearl stubs from the top drawer, Quinn," she'd said, barely looking up from her phone. "You know the ones." I did know. Mom wore them to every family function. They'd probably end up looking better on Brooklyn anyway. Everything did. But when I opened that top drawer, I found something else. A letter, addressed to me, in Mom's handwriting. My hands shook as I picked it up. The envelope was thick, expensive stationery, the kind Mom used for important things. It was sealed, never opened, and dated 2 weeks before she died. "Quinn, if you're reading this, I'm gone, and there are things you need to know before your father destroys the evidence. I've left you something. Not in the will he'll read at the lawyer's office. He made me change that one 3 times until I removed your name almost entirely. But in the real will, the one I filed separately with Margaret Cho at Silver Peak Legal on March 14th. You are entitled to 40% of the Reyes holdings, the Colorado properties, the investment portfolios, everything I built before I married your father. He doesn't know this will exists. Margaret has instructions to read it only if you specifically request it within 1 year of my death. Otherwise, it defaults to the version he approved. I'm sorry I wasn't braver while I was alive, but I won't let him erase you after I'm gone. The combination to the safe behind my desk is your birthday. Inside, you'll find the documents you need. Fight for yourself, Quinn. You deserve to be seen. Mom." I read it 3 times. Then I threw up in her wastebasket. 40%. Mom had left me 40% of a fortune estimated at $80 million, and Dad had hidden it. My whole life, I'd been the backup daughter, the one who didn't get the family charisma, the beauty, the golden touch. Brooklyn got the penthouse in Denver. I got the guest house. Brooklyn's college was paid in full. I worked 3 jobs and still graduated with debt. I thought that was just how it was. But Mom had tried to fix it, and Dad had made sure I never knew. I spun around to the massive painting behind her desk, pulled it aside, and there it was, a wall safe with an electronic keypad. My birthday, 081996. It clicked open. Inside were file folders, legal documents, property deeds, and a USB drive labeled, "For Quinn, play this first." I grabbed everything, shoved it into my bag. My heart was hammering so hard I thought I'd pass out. That's when I heard the footsteps in the hallway. "Quinn, you still in there?" Brooklyn's voice, syrupy and impatient. I slammed the safe shut, swung the painting back, grabbed the pearl earrings from the dish on the desk. When she opened the door, I was standing there with the most innocent smile I could manage, dangling the earrings. "Got them." She beamed. "You're the best. Seriously, what would I do without you?" I didn't answer, because for the first time in my life, I was wondering what I would do without her. I had 3 days until the wedding. 3 days to figure out if my family had been lying to me my entire life, or if this was about to get so much worse. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in my guest house, a renovated pool house on the edge of the estate that Dad loved to call charming and I called exile, with my laptop open and that USB drive burning a hole in my palm. What could be on it? A video? A confession? Proof? I plugged it in. One file, Quinn_full_story.mp4. I double-clicked, and there was my mother. She was sitting in her office, the same one I'd just left, but she looked so frail. This was recorded maybe days before she died. Her scarf covered where the chemo had stolen her hair. Her eyes were sunken, but her voice was steady. "Hi, sweetheart." I burst into tears immediately. "If you're watching this, it means I'm gone, and it means you found the letter. I'm sorry I had to do it this way, but your father, Quinn, he's not the man I thought I married." She paused, took a shaky breath. "When you were born, he wanted a son. He told me that in the delivery room. I laughed it off. But over the years, I realized he meant it. You were never enough for him because you weren't Brooklyn. You weren't the firstborn, the golden child, the one who looked like his side of the family." My stomach twisted. I watched him sideline you, dismiss you, and I was too weak to stop it. I told myself you were strong, that you didn't need his approval. But Quinn, you deserved it anyway. She wiped her eyes. "So, I'm doing this now. The real will gives you 40% of everything I owned before the marriage. That includes the Montana ranch, the Silver Peak property investments, the trust funds I inherited from my parents. It's worth tens of millions, and it's yours." She leaned closer to the camera. "But your father will fight you. He'll say I wasn't of sound mind. He'll say you manipulated me. He'll drag you through hell to keep control of that money because he's been using it to fund his lifestyle for years. He's broke, Quinn. The Reyes empire, it's smoke and mirrors. Without my money, it all collapses." I sat frozen. "Margaret Cho has everything you need, but you have to move fast. The will expires in 1 year, and we're already 8 months in. If you don't claim it, it defaults to the version he forced me to sign, where Brooklyn gets 80% and you get a token 5%. She smiled sadly. "I know this is a lot. I know you hate conflict, but baby, you have to fight this time, not for the money, for you, to prove that you matter, that you were never the problem." She pressed her hand to the screen. "I love you. I'm so sorry I didn't protect you better, but I'm protecting you now." The video ended. I sat there in the dark, crying so hard I couldn't breathe. Everything made sense now. Every dismissive comment. Every time Dad forgot my birthday but threw Brooklyn a parade. Every time I was introduced as the other daughter. It wasn't me. It was him. And he'd been stealing from me the whole time. I grabbed my phone, found the number for Margaret Cho, attorney at law. It was 2 a.m., but I didn't care. I left a voicemail. "Hi, this is Quinn Reyes. I need to schedule an appointment. It's about my mother's will, the real one. I hung up. Then I opened my calendar. 2 days until Brooklyn's wedding, and I had just decided to burn it all down. But I had no idea Dad had been listening, and he was already 10 steps ahead of me. Margaret Cho called me back at 7 a.m. "Miss Reyes, I've been waiting for you to reach out." Her voice was calm, professional, but I could hear the relief underneath. "You knew?" I asked. "Your mother made me promise not to contact you unless you came to me first. She said if you never asked, it meant you'd chosen peace over the fight, but I hoped you'd call." We set a meeting for that afternoon. She was in Denver, about 40 minutes from Arbortown. I told Brooklyn I had a last-minute wedding errand. She didn't even look up from her seating chart. Margaret's office was sleek and modern, all glass and steel. She was a small woman in her 50s, sharp-eyed and kind. She slid a folder across the desk. "This is your mother's original will. Signed, witnessed, notarized, ironclad." I flipped through it. There it was, in black and white, 40% of estate assets to Quinn Elise Reyes. "Your father doesn't know this exists," Margaret said carefully. "Your mother was very strategic. She knew he'd contest anything that threatened his control, so she filed this separately, through me, using assets that were legally hers pre-marriage. Colorado is not a community property state. She had every right." "So what do I do?" "You file a claim. I'll submit this to the probate court on Monday. It'll take a few weeks to process, but once it's in the system, he can't touch it." "What happens when he finds out?" Her expression darkened. "He'll fight, hard. He'll try to say she was coerced, mentally unfit, manipulated. But we have the video testimony, medical records proving she was lucid, and a paper trail a mile long. You'll win, but it won't be pretty." I nodded. "Do it." She smiled. "Your mother would be proud." I left her office feeling lighter than I had in years. For the first time, I wasn't the forgotten daughter. I was the one holding all the cards. But when I pulled into the estate that evening, Dad's car was parked at an angry angle in the driveway. He was waiting in the kitchen. "Where were you?" His voice was ice. "Out," I said carefully. "Don't lie to me, Quinn." My pulse spiked. "I'm not lying. I had errands." He stepped closer. "You went to see a lawyer." My blood turned cold. "How? You think I don't have people watching you? You think I didn't put alerts on your mother's accounts, her files, her contacts?" He laughed bitterly. "Margaret Cho called me 20 minutes after you left her office. Professional courtesy." My world tilted. "She works for you?" "No, but she's smart enough to know when a case is about to get ugly. She wanted to give you a heads up before you made a huge mistake." He leaned against the counter, arms crossed. "So here's what's going to happen. You're going to drop this. You're going to let the will stand as written. Brooklyn gets her share, you get yours. Everyone's happy." 5%, I said quietly. "You want me to take 5% of what Mom wanted me to have? I want you to stop embarrassing this family." "Or what?" His eyes went dead. "Or I'll make sure you wish you had." Silence. Then Brooklyn breezed in, oblivious, holding a champagne flute. "There you are. Come on, we're doing a final dress fitting. You're still my maid of honor, right?" I looked at Dad, then at her, and I smiled. Wouldn't miss it for the world. I had one card left to play, and I was going to play it in front of 280 people. The morning of Brooklyn's wedding, I woke up with a clarity I'd never felt before. I wasn't going to back down. I wasn't going to be quiet, and I wasn't going to let them bury me anymore. But I needed proof. Real, undeniable proof that Dad had been hiding Mom's will, something even he couldn't spin. So I did something I'd never done before. I broke into his office. The estate was chaos. Florists, caterers, photographers everywhere. Brooklyn was getting her hair done in the main suite. Dad was on the phone in the garden, barking orders at someone about the champagne delivery. I slipped into his office and locked the door behind me. His desk was a battlefield of paperwork, contracts, invoices, financial statements. I didn't have much time. I started rifling through drawers, looking for anything that mentioned Mom's will, Margaret Cho, or the estate assets. And then I found it. A folder labeled ER Estate, Revised Distribution. Inside were emails between Dad and his lawyer, dated 3 weeks after Mom's funeral. We need to make sure the Silver Peak holdings stay under my control. Eleanor's separate filing is a problem. If Quinn ever finds out about the 40%, she could ruin everything. Can we challenge on mental incapacity? The reply, risky. She was documented as lucid until the end. Better strategy, keep Quinn in the dark. If she doesn't file a claim within 1 year, it defaults to your version. We're at 8 months. Just run out the clock. I took photos of everything, every page, every email. Then I heard footsteps in the hallway. I shoved the folder back, slipped my phone into my dress pocket, and unlocked the door just as Dad's assistant, Caroline, appeared. "Quinn, there you are. Your sister's looking for you. Hair and makeup in 10. I smiled. "On my way." I walked past her, heart hammering, phone burning against my ribs. I had everything. Now, I just needed the world to see it. The ceremony was beautiful. I'll give Brooklyn that. The Summit Crown Ballroom was a fairy tale. White roses everywhere, string quartet, soft golden light pouring through the floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the mountains. Brooklyn looked stunning in her custom gown, all lace and pearls and princess dreams. I stood beside her at the altar in my pale blue bridesmaid's dress, holding her bouquet, smiling on cue, but my mind was racing. The reception was where I'd do it, after the vows, after the first dance, when everyone was relaxed, champagne drunk, and filming everything for Instagram. I'd stand up during the toasts, and I'd tell the truth, all of it. But I didn't know Dad had a plan too. The reception started flawlessly. Dinner was served, speeches began. Brooklyn's maid of honor went first, something bland and sweet about friendship. Then the best man. Then Dad stood up. He looked so proud, so dignified in his tailored tuxedo, holding a crystal flute. I want to thank everyone for being here today to celebrate Brooklyn and Matt. My daughter has always been the light of my life, and seeing her so happy, well, it's everything a father could want. He paused, looked right at me. Family is everything. Loyalty, trust, knowing who stands by you when it matters. My stomach dropped. Some people understand that, and some people, well, some people try to tear it all down. Murmurs rippled through the room. "Quinn." Everyone turned to look at me. "Why don't you stand up, sweetheart?" My legs felt like lead, but I stood. "Tell everyone what you've been up to this week. Go ahead." Brooklyn looked confused. "Dad, what?" "Tell them about the lawyer, Quinn. About the accusations, about how you're trying to say your mother wasn't in her right mind when she signed her will." Gasps. I opened my mouth, and that's when I said it. "It's mine." And then his hand was around my throat. Everything happened in slow motion. Dad's face twisted with rage. He lunged across the space between us, his hand closing around my throat before I could even step back. "You ungrateful!" And then he slammed me backward. My head hit the marble wall behind the head table with a crack so loud it echoed through the ballroom like a gunshot. Pain exploded through my skull. The chandelier above me seemed to spin, fracture, shatter into stars. I heard Brooklyn scream. Someone shouted. Chairs scraped. But all I could focus on was the sound. Crack. And then I was on the floor. People were rushing toward me. I could hear Brooklyn crying. Someone was yelling for a doctor. My vision was blurry, dark around the edges. But through the chaos, I saw it. A phone, held up by a guest I didn't recognize. A woman in a green dress, standing near the back. The red recording light was on. She'd filmed everything. And then I passed out. I woke up in a hospital room with the worst headache of my life. A nurse was checking my vitals. Brooklyn was sitting in the corner, still in her wedding dress, mascara streaked down her face. "You're awake," she whispered. "What happened?" "You have a concussion. They did a scan, no fracture, but you need to rest." I tried to sit up. Pain shot through my skull. Dad? He's gone. He left. Her voice cracked. Quinn, everyone saw. The whole wedding saw him attack you at your wedding. I blinked. Where's my phone? She handed it to me. It was exploding. Notifications, hundreds of them, thousands. I opened Instagram. The video was everywhere. Father assaults daughter at wedding, 5 million views. The woman in the green dress had posted it, and it had gone viral. The clip was only 18 seconds, but it showed everything. Dad lunging, his hand on my throat, my body hitting the wall, the crack, my collapse. And the caption, "This is Quinn Reyes. Her father just assaulted her at her sister's wedding because she tried to claim her inheritance. Share this." The comments were a wildfire. "This is horrific. That man belongs in jail. She needs a lawyer ASAP. Someone find out who this family is." News outlets were already picking it up. TMZ, BuzzFeed, local Colorado stations. Reyes family wedding ends in violence. Viral video sparks outcry. I looked at Brooklyn. "Your wedding is ruined," she said flatly. "Matt's family left. Half the guests left. The video is everywhere, Quinn. Everywhere." She stood up, arms crossed. "Why didn't you just tell me? Why did you have to do it like this? I tried to tell you. None of you would listen. So you decided to blow up my wedding? I didn't. Dad did this, not me." She laughed bitterly. "Right, because you're the victim. You're always the victim." And then she left. I sat there alone, staring at my phone. The video had 7 million views now, and my email was flooded. Lawyers, journalists, advocacy groups, people offering help, people offering money, and one email from Margaret Cho. "We need to talk. Call me immediately." I called. "Quinn, this changes everything. Public support is on your side. Your father just committed assault on camera. We can fast-track the will filing, get a restraining order, and bury him in legal action before he can retaliate. Are you ready?" I looked at the video again, at my father's face twisted with rage, at my body hitting the wall, at the 280 people who'd watched and done nothing until someone hit record. I'm ready. But I wasn't ready for what Dad would do next, because when a man has everything to lose, he becomes dangerous. The next 48 hours were a blur. The video hit 15 million views. News stations camped outside the estate. My name was trending on Twitter, #JusticeForQuinn. People were digging into Dad's business, his reputation, his entire life. And it was all falling apart. Turns out, when you assault your daughter on camera at a society wedding, people start asking questions. Reyes Holdings investors pulled out. Dad's board of directors called an emergency meeting. His country club suspended his membership. Brooklyn's new in-laws released a statement distancing themselves from the incident. And the police opened an investigation. I gave my statement from the hospital, showed them the emails I'd found, told them everything. They issued a restraining order. Dad wasn't allowed within 500 feet of me. Margaret filed the will claim in probate court. With the video as evidence of his violent retaliation, the judge fast-tracked the hearing. For the first time in my life, people were listening to me. But Brooklyn wasn't. She called me once. Her voice was ice. "You destroyed everything, Quinn. My wedding, Dad's reputation, the family name. I hope it was worth it." "Brooklyn, he's been stealing from me, from us." "No, you're tearing us apart because you've always been jealous, and now you've got the whole world feeling sorry for you. Congratulations." She hung up. I tried not to care, but it hurt. Of course it did. Meanwhile, the internet did what the internet does best. It investigated. Amateur sleuths found photos of me from childhood, always in the background, always cropped out of family portraits. One viral Twitter thread compiled 15 years of evidence showing how I'd been erased. Notice how Quinn is never mentioned in the family holiday cards. She's not in any of the official Reyes family photos on their website. Her college graduation, none of them attended. but Brooklyn's had a full spread in the society pages. People were angry. Support poured in. Lawyers offered pro bono help. Journalists wanted my story. A podcast reached out. Someone started a GoFundMe for Quinn's legal fees that raised $50,000 in 2 days. I didn't ask for any of it, but I was grateful because Dad wasn't going quietly. He released a statement through his lawyer. I deeply regret the altercation at my daughter's wedding. I was under immense stress and reacted poorly. However, Quinn has been advised by opportunistic legal counsel to make false claims about her late mother's estate. Eleanor Reyes was not of sound mind in her final months, and any documents produced during that time are suspect. I love both my daughters and hope we can resolve this privately. It was a masterclass in spin. He admitted just enough to seem apologetic, then flipped it to make me look like a liar. And some people bought it. Comments started shifting. Maybe she is just after the money. Family disputes shouldn't be aired publicly like this. We don't know the full story. Brooklyn posted a statement on Instagram. My father is a good man who made a mistake in a moment of extreme emotion. I stand by him. Family is complicated, and I wish people would stop turning this into a spectacle. She didn't mention me once. The narrative was fracturing. I was losing control. And then Margaret called. Quinn, we have a problem. What now? Your father filed a counterclaim. He's saying your mother's will was forged, that I fabricated it, and he's suing you for defamation, claiming the video was staged. I felt the room tilt. He's suing me? It's a stall tactic. He knows he'll lose, but he's trying to drag this out until public attention dies down. We need something big, something that proves intent. I closed my eyes. I think I know where to find it, because Mom didn't just leave me a will, she left me a recording of the moment Dad forced her to sign the fake one. Mom had been careful, more careful than I ever realized. When I went back to her office, this time with Margaret and a police escort, I found a second USB drive taped to the underside of her desk drawer. It was labeled Insurance. Margaret plugged it into her laptop, and there it was, a video dated 3 days before Mom died. She was sitting in her office. Dad was standing over her, his face twisted in frustration. Eleanor, just sign it. This is for the family. No, I already filed the real one. Quinn deserves what I decide she deserves. Mom's voice was weak but firm. She's our daughter, Richard. She's a disappointment. She always has been. Brooklyn is the legacy. Quinn is insurance. You know that. Insurance. I felt sick. Mom shook her head. I won't let you erase her. Dad leaned down, his voice dropping to something cold and threatening. If you don't sign this version, I'll make sure Quinn never sees a cent. I'll tie it up in probate for years. I'll claim you were mentally incompetent. I'll drag her through hell until she gives up. Is that what you want? Mom's hands were shaking. She looked at the paper in front of her, the fake will, the one that gave Brooklyn 80% and me 5%. You're a monster. I'm a realist. Sign it, Eleanor, or I'll destroy her. She signed. And then she looked directly at the camera, a hidden camera she'd set up on her bookshelf. This is coercion. I'm signing under duress. The document in front of me is not my true will. That has already been filed separately with Margaret Cho. Richard Reyes is forcing me to sign this against my wishes. Dad didn't see the camera. He took the paper, smiled, and walked out. Mom sat there for a long moment. Then she whispered, I'm sorry, Quinn, but he won't win. The video ended. Margaret sat back, stunned. This is everything. I was crying so hard I couldn't speak. We file this immediately. He's done. Coercion, elder abuse, fraud, he's done. We submitted the video to the court the next day. The media got wind of it within hours. New video shows Reyes patriarch coercing dying wife to sign false will. It was everywhere. Again, but this time there was no spinning it, no counter-narrative, no both sides. The video showed exactly who Richard Reyes was, and the internet exploded. Within 24 hours, Dad was removed as CEO of Reyes Holdings, the board launched a full audit of his finances, 3 former business partners came forward with allegations of fraud, the district attorney opened a criminal investigation. Brooklyn went silent. No posts, no statements, nothing. I wondered if she'd finally watched the video, if she'd finally seen what I'd been trying to tell her, but she didn't call. The probate hearing was scheduled for the following week. Margaret was confident. With the coercion video, there's no way he wins. You'll get the 40%. He'll be lucky if he avoids jail time. But the day before the hearing, I got a call from an unknown number. Quinn? It was Dad. You need to stop this. I have a restraining order against you. I know, I'm calling from a friend's phone. Listen to me. If you go through with this, you'll regret it. Is that a threat? It's a warning. You think you've won, but you have no idea what I'm capable of. I've seen exactly what you're capable of. The whole world has. Silence. Then you're just like your mother, self-righteous, weak. She thought she could outmaneuver me too. And she did. I hung up, but my hands were shaking because there was something in his voice, something that told me this wasn't over. And I was right, because the next morning I woke up to a news alert that changed everything. The headline hit my phone at 6 a.m. Richard Reyes hospitalized, alleged suicide attempt. I sat up so fast, I almost blacked out. No. I clicked the article. Richard Reyes, embattled Colorado real estate mogul at the center of a viral family dispute, was hospitalized late last night after an apparent overdose. His daughter, Brooklyn Reyes, released a statement saying, "Our family is going through an unimaginable tragedy. We ask for privacy as we focus on his recovery." My phone rang. Margaret. Quinn, do not make a statement. Do not respond. This is a play. What do you mean? He's trying to flip the narrative, make you the villain. Daughter's accusations drove father to suicide attempt. It's textbook manipulation. But what if it's real? Then he'll recover and we'll deal with it. But my gut says this is strategy. She was right. By noon, the headlines had shifted. Family feud turns tragic. Did Quinn Reyes go too far? Op-eds started appearing. Think pieces about cancel culture and the dangers of public shaming. People who'd never defended my father suddenly became his advocates. Brooklyn posted a photo of herself at the hospital, looking devastated. "Please pray for my dad. He's a good man who made mistakes, but he doesn't deserve this." The comments were brutal. Quinn should be ashamed. She destroyed her own father for money. This is what happens when people prioritize vengeance over family. I felt like I was drowning. Had I done this? Had I pushed him too far? Margaret sent me another video. Watch this before you spiral. It was security footage from the hospital, time-stamped 2 hours before the apparent suicide attempt. It showed Dad walking into the ER, calmly, no distress, no emergency. He checked himself in, told the nurse he'd taken some pills. They ran tests. The toxicology report showed a mild sedative, nothing life-threatening, nothing that required ICU care. But the hospital admitted him for observation, and Brooklyn posted her tearful bedside photo. It was staged. Margaret's voice was ice. He orchestrated this to win sympathy before the hearing, and it almost worked. Can we use this footage? We're submitting it to the court today, along with the toxicology report. I felt a cold rage settle over me. He'd tried to fake his own suicide to avoid accountability, and people had believed him. The hearing was chaos. Media swarmed the courthouse, protesters on both sides. Some held signs that said #Justice for Quinn. Others said #Leave Richard alone. Dad showed up in a wheelchair, looking frail and weak. Brooklyn pushed him. She glared at me as they passed. Inside the courtroom, Margaret presented everything: the original will, the coercion video, the hospital security footage, the toxicology report, the emails proving Dad's intent to hide the will.
Dad's lawyer tried to argue that Mom wasn't of sound mind, that I'd manipulated her, that the videos were taken out of context, but the judge wasn't buying it. Mr. Reyes, I've reviewed the evidence. Your wife was documented as mentally competent up until her death. The video clearly shows coercion, and your recent behavior, including this apparent attempt to garner sympathy, does not speak well to your credibility. She turned to me. Miss Reyes, the court finds in your favor. You are entitled to 40% of your mother's estate, as outlined in her original will. Additionally, I'm referring this case to the district attorney for potential criminal charges. The gavel struck. I'd won. But when I looked across the courtroom, Brooklyn was crying, and Dad was staring at me with a look of pure hatred. It didn't feel like victory. It felt like war. Because 3 days later, Brooklyn called me, and what she said made me realize the fight was just beginning.
Brooklyn's voice was shaking when she called. I need to talk to you, in person. Brooklyn, I don't think... Please, Quinn, just please. We met at a coffee shop in Denver, neutral ground. She looked exhausted. Her hair was pulled back in a messy bun, no makeup, dark circles under her eyes. This wasn't the polished, perfect Brooklyn I'd grown up with. She sat down across from me. I watched the video, the one of Dad and Mom. I didn't say anything. I didn't believe you. I thought you were lying or exaggerating or I don't know, but I watched it and I saw what he did. Her voice broke. He called her weak, Quinn. He said you were insurance, and he made her sign that will while she was dying. Tears streamed down her face. I've been defending him this whole time. I posted that photo at the hospital. I called you selfish, and I was wrong. I felt my throat tighten. He's been lying to me too, she continued. The whole suicide attempt, he told me to post that photo. He said it would help, that people would leave us alone, but it was just another manipulation. She looked up at me. I'm sorry, Quinn. I'm so sorry. I didn't know what to say. Part of me wanted to hug her. Part of me wanted to scream at her for taking so long to see it. But mostly, I was just tired. What do you want from me, Brooklyn? I want to help. I want to make this right. I'll testify. I'll give a statement. Whatever you need. Why now? Because I went through his files after the hearing, and I found something. She slid a folder across the table. He's been embezzling from Mom's estate for years, funneling money into offshore accounts, using her investments to cover his debts. If the audit finds this, he's going to prison. I opened the folder. Bank statements, wire transfers, shell corporations. He stole from both of us, Quinn, and he was going to keep doing it until there was nothing left. I looked at my sister, really looked at her. For the first time, I saw past the golden child facade. She was scared, and she'd been used just like I had. What do you want to do? I asked. I want to turn him in, together. We walked into the district attorney's office the next day, together. Brooklyn handed over the financial records. I gave my testimony. We corroborated everything. The DA's eyes went wide. This is extensive. We're talking wire fraud, embezzlement, elder abuse. Mr. Reyes is looking at significant prison time. Good, Brooklyn said quietly. The arrest happened a week later. Richard Reyes was taken into custody at his home. No wheelchair this time, no frail act. The media went wild, but this time, Brooklyn and I faced the cameras together. A journalist asked, "Do you feel vindicated?" I thought about it. I feel free. Brooklyn squeezed my hand. We both do. The trial took months, but the evidence was overwhelming. Dad was convicted on multiple counts of fraud and elder abuse, sentenced to 8 years in federal prison. Reyes Holdings was dissolved. The estate was divided according to Mom's real will. I got my 40%, Brooklyn got hers. We sold the mansion and split the proceeds. We used some of the money to start a foundation in Mom's name, supporting women escaping financial abuse. And slowly, carefully, Brooklyn and I started to rebuild.
not as the perfect family we'd pretended to be, but as sisters who'd survived the same monster. One day, Brooklyn asked, "Do you ever regret it, speaking up?" I thought about it. "No," I said. "For the first time in my life, I'm not invisible." She smiled sadly. "Neither am I." And that red recording light, it didn't just change my life, it gave me my voice back.
So that's my story. The wedding that ended in a wall, the video that changed everything, the family that fell apart so I could finally be whole. People ask me all the time if I'd do it differently, and the answer is no, because here's what I learned. Silence protects the people who hurt you, not the people who love you. For 28 years, I stayed quiet because I thought that's what family meant. But family isn't supposed to erase you. It's not supposed to make you smaller so everyone else can shine brighter. Mom knew that. That's why she fought for me, even when she was dying. And now I fight for other people who've been erased, who've been told they're too sensitive or too dramatic when they ask for what they deserve. If you're watching this and you see yourself in my story, if you've been the backup, the afterthought, the one who's expected to stay silent, hear me when I say this. Your voice matters. Your truth matters. And the people who try to take that from you, they don't deserve your loyalty. It's been 2 years since that wedding. Brooklyn and I are closer than we've ever been. We run the foundation together. We talk about Mom. We heal. Dad's still in prison. I haven't visited. Maybe I never will. But I'm free. And that crack, the one that echoed through the ballroom, the one that went viral, the one that broke me open, it also set me free. So if this story resonated with you, drop a comment below. Tell me your story. Let's build a community of people who refuse to be erased. And if you want more stories like this, real, raw, and unfiltered, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Because I'm not done talking. Not anymore. Thanks for listening. My name is Quinn Reyes, and I'm finally telling my own story.